Hey everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead Podcast, and we're here today to talk about gameplay content, specifically Blood Bowl gameplay content, specifically on this channel. And I'm here today to ask for your help because I need some help and I need some direction. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to go out on the full channel, whether it's just going to go to the supporters, so the YouTube members and the Patreons, but we have been working on trying to make our content better, and I need some direction from you guys. Okay, so we've been making Blood Bowl gameplay content for a long time now, and it started with the classic point of view camera, and then it evolved to all kinds of different setups. We had like an overhead and a side on, and then you guys helped sponsor the shoulder cams and stuff like that. And our gameplay footage has come a long way, and the way we do games has come a long way. And we've just wrapped up doing the Bonehead Championship live, and then we're filming the Secret Sevens at the moment. And the reason we're filming Secret Sevens is it makes it a bit easier for us to schedule a recording, which is important to the sustainability of me doing the content, really. So I'm the editor man, and I've built the shed of dreams. So this is kind of quite the focal point, should we say, of doing this. But Kaijin Chicken and Primhack have been putting together this Gutter Bowl League, and it has been so much fun to watch and talk to Nick about filming the content and doing the editing. And it's inspired me to actually focus on how we can make better Blood Bowl content. Now, I love the setup we've got, but we've optimized the setup for playing a game and live streaming a game. So we've got the dice camera, we've got the player face cameras, we've got both the shoulder cameras, we've got the overhead camera as well, and I've just implemented a rolling panning crowd camera. Okay, working on that. We're trying different things, and I am personally trying to learn different and better ways of editing. So I messed it up a treat. You would have seen a couple of weeks ago there was some videos where it was all sorts of zooming in and out because I used a new plugin on DaVinci, and I was like, this looks great. And it looked great in the little preview window, but it looked a different word than great in reality. But anyway, that's by the by. I'm trying to do a better job of editing because I want us on the channel to do the best Blood Bowl gameplay. I want us to be, that's what I want to do. I want to help play the best Blood Bowl games for you guys to watch, because I view this as us playing games with you. Like, I joked with Caron, actually. I think it was Caron. I'm sure it was Caron before, about like, we play games so you don't have to. It should be our motto and our line, because I want to be there. I want the games that we film to be there for you when you can't get to your local league. Like, I want us to be the worldwide local league, right? It's league night. Monday night's league night. We hang out, watch some Blood Bowl. That's what I want, right? So I want that Blood Bowl to be the best it can be. And when we're live streaming, we got a lot of feedback, and live streaming is a 50-50 thing. Like, the people who are able to join on the live stream loved the live stream, which was wicked. And we loved doing the live stream because it was great to chat with chat. And then we got all the people who'd watch it afterwards say, the live stream bit kind of sucks. Like, we're trying to watch the game and you're just like talking to people who like have gone. And it's kind of like, okay, fine. So we tried the check-in with chat thing, and we tried to kind of condense it down, and it didn't feel good. The final product, it wasn't something I was happy with. Like, I wasn't editing it going like, this is good. I was editing it and it was coming out like, you do the live stream and it's out there, and the benefit of doing the live stream is that it's out there, and we do a lot of stuff to make the editing as we are filming it, like flow, and we change camera angles, and we've got all the stuff that happens, and it's pretty good. I give it a C+. That's where I'm at. Okay, we've got the graphics, we've got the sounds. We don't have as much sounds as we'd like, but there's a couple of sounds, and the way it works, I like I said, C+. So anyway, I've rambled for a bit. What I want from you is, I want your help, and I want you to let me know in the comments what you want to see, what we've done well, what other channels are doing that you'd like to see us copy. Because I watch a lot of content during my day because I'm on this screen working, and I find like having stuff on this screen. Sometimes I put it on the telly and treat myself. But there's a bunch of channels that do a bunch of different things, and I want to see what other people are doing in the Warhammer world that we can learn from is a politer way of saying than we can steal. So, you know, we'll start off with Gorilla Miniatures games, right? All of his videos used to be point of view camera, which is kind of where our first few seasons of like the Bonehead Championship and 7 Super Series was, and the Greenbridge Gutter Bowlers. And it's immersive. I do like it. Like, it's immersive, and there's a lot of benefits to it. But Ash has gone away and he's doing multicam now with a couple of different angles, which is pretty good. Then you've got the big lads, right? You've got Mini Wargaming, and they use multicam setup or point of view cam, depending on what they're actually doing. Like for their streams, they'll use multicam. For their gameplays, most of it is handheld. Then you've got Mountain Miniatures, which do old world content. This is a wicked setup. Like, it's super simple. They've got 2 cameras and the dice tray. Like, they've got one that looks down the table, they've got one that's overhead, and that's it. And they flick between themselves. And that's a really, like, as an optimization kind of guy, that's well done. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you got that. There's Seasons of War that I also watch, which is interesting because AOS I think is not a game that inspires me, but the way the Seasons of War crew do their content I think is really cool, and I think that's kind of doable. They've got an overhead, they've got a player angle, and they've got a little slow pan B-roll shot that they're mixing in, which I have definitely stolen, and for the next 2 episodes of Sevens we're kind of seeing how we can get that working, seeing if that's something we can take and kind of bake into what we're doing. And then of course you've got the big boys who do things super properly. You've got Tabletop Tactics. When they film their games, they don't do Blood Bowl. Obviously none of these guys do Blood Bowl really, but when they do theirs, they've got player camera with a bit of board, player camera with a bit of board, they've got a good overhead camera, and they've got a free roaming person who will go around and take B-roll of action shots. So they've got the mix of fixed, overhead, and a free roaming point of view cam that they can blend in, which is swish. That is epic. Play on Tabletop is probably the only video company, the only channel that does it better. And I don't even know where to begin with them. They've got player camera, they've got overhead camera. They also do some roaming battlefield shots too. But they've got the most dream studio. Like these guys have got some really nice big studio space, which is super impressive. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Now, I'm going to be really honest when it comes to buying all the cameras that they can use. We've just paid off basically the shed. Like, it's a big 150 square foot shed that we've insulated. We've put electrics in. We've got mounting points for the cameras. I'm really proud of what we've done, but it's, you know, we are a small channel and we do this as a hobby. We've got some awesome Patreons, some awesome YouTube members who really help us, and that's awesome. Like, it couldn't be better. I couldn't be happier. But if the first thing you kind of got to think about is the quality jump between the cameras we use and the cameras Play On or Tabletop Tactics use. I'm working on it. I'm looking at it, because if we can find, I want at least one camera that can do something really nice like the Tabletop Tactics guys use, because that will give us an option. But that's going to be a few grand, and I say a few grand, it's going to be $1,000, and that's going to take a few months for us to get to that point, which, you know, cool. I'm working towards that. That's why I'd like to make the next investment for the channel, because I think that would be cool to be able to start doing stuff like that. So we need to take camera quality and put it there as something that we are aspiring towards. At the moment, like, we got 3 4K cameras, so quality is not as good as I would like it to be, but I'm working on that. And that, I think, is kind of something like working better with what we've got for better quality is something that I am putting in the time for, but I don't get a lot of time, but I'm iterating it. Audio quality, like, we spent hundreds of pounds on Rode Wireless Pro, and the audio is just not what I want it to be. It's not as good as it should be, which means there's probably a way I can make it better using the equipment that we've got. The cameras, the 4K cameras, so the quality shots that we get should be a bit better, but I'm not sure what's happening. Is it that there's not enough lighting? Is it the way I'm recording compresses it too much? I can work better with that. Still shots look nice. When you're filming, you get some artifacting and some compression stuff. I'm like, right, there's probably something I can do to make this better. So that's your equipment bit parked. When it comes to editing, this is a real doozy. So if this was the full-time job, editing would not be as much of a consideration, but it's not, right? It's a hobby. So if we spend whole evening filming, let's film an 11s game, and it will take 3 hours to film. It takes more than that actually, but you know, the guys get here at 7:30. We would go live at 8 for a live stream, and we'd finish the game about 10:30. So yeah, all right, let's say there's 3 hours worth of stuff. So if we're filming, we'll get 2.5 to 3 hours worth of footage. If you are editing, it's going to take you at least that amount of time for editing. So if you've got 3 hours worth of footage, let's round it down. If you've got 2 hours worth of footage, you're going to need to spend at least 2 hours editing simply watching the footage. So if you say, right, watch a bit, make a cut, watch a bit, make a cut, that's a minimum of 2 hours plus all the time you spend making the cuts, changing the scenes, doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm working on a project at the moment that's kind of talking about how to make battle reports, or how the cost of battle reports for these companies. But you know, if you think about editing, you probably 3 times the amount of time of gameplay needs to be spent doing it, I think, realistically. So you record a 7s game, it takes about an hour. It's going to take me about 3 hours to edit, 1 to watch it, another hour worth of cutting and chopping, and then another hour to finish it off and going back. And 3 hours is probably reasonable, right? That's fine. For an 11s game, it's going to be 6 hours probably, like, and that's fine, but it has to be that level of sustainability. So you look at PlayOn, you look at Tabletop Tactics, and they can spend a couple of days doing the editing, and that's a person full-time at the desktop with all the footage, putting it together and doing a really cool job. That's what I would love to do, but I don't have a whole day. So I need to work in a way that kind of makes the content as good as it can be, as quickly as it possibly can be, not because I want to rush it, not because I don't care about it, but simply because it won't be sustainable. It needs to be sustainable. That's the other thing. So it's an interesting one. But yeah, if you look at all the different like cascade of game content out there, they all do things slightly differently. There's some key trends there, and this is my message to you guys to say, what do you think Blood Bowl content could be like? What do you like? What's your shots? What things do you think we can do better? What, you know, things are better than I think they are? That would be nice, but I'm not asking for that. You know, it's always a case of iteration. We're using sevens, we're using secret sevens to try a couple of things to make our editing better, ready for the next Bonehead Championship, because we want to be able to do 11s content really well, because that's what the channel's about, man. It's about playing Blood Bowl games, and I want to make the best Blood Bowl content I can, because that's what I want to do. That's fun for me. I want to share a game with you guys, and I want it to be the best it can be, because I want to be proud of it, and I am proud of it, and we have so much fun doing it all. But I don't know, I'm just the kind of person that's like, right, cool, we've done that, how do we make it better? We've done that, how do we make it better? We've done that, how do we make it better? Really annoys Tiff, I'm sure you can imagine. Anyway, please comment below. Who do you like? What have you seen? What could we do? Give me some ideas. Let's go. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking.